Hi, I just wanted to pop on and do a video because I haven't done one for a while. I did plan to have myself recorded, but I'm not sure what's going on with my laptop. The picture's not very clear, so I've had to put my profile picture up. So please excuse me for that. But today I just wanted to pop on to talk about what actually is self-realization because I know for me, um, on the quest to self realization, it was seen and spoken about as a spiritual journey. And in actual fact, it is a spiritual journey, but it's not a human being having a spiritual journey. We are spirit beings. Spirit just means that you can't see the power, but there's a power there. It's obvious, so it's spiritual, and that is who we ultimately are. So, awakening or self realization is the self being aware of the self, and that is always happening. It's the personal identity, the body mind that appears to be searching for itself. And that is what is called a spiritual seeking. I think a really good illustration, and I've used it a few times. Well, I've got a couple of illustrations, and the one that I'd like to use is if you've ever seen the film The Wizard of Oz, that is perfect to a certain degree. So the film starts in black and white, and we have Dorothy, and she's living in I think it's Kansas City, and she gets caught up in a whirlwind and she goes unconscious. And then the next thing you know, the film goes into colour and Dorothy walks into this beautiful, colour, vibrant world. And this is the dream world. And she's there's a that Dorothy has a mission to fulfill that um, she's lost. She needs to get home. And she goes through all sorts. She's told to follow a yellow brick road, and she bumps into three characters. One's a scarecrow, the other one's a tin man, and the third character is a lion. And she's got a wicked witch that's chasing her, and all these things are happening. And I can imagine Dorothy, her emotions must have been up and down, and lots of stories to tell, lots of ducking and diving, good and bad. And then she goes to find the wizard that she hopes can get her home, only to find out it's a man behind a curtain. And in actual fact, she's always had the ability to go home. All she had to do was click her heels three times and say, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home." And then, as that's been uttered, the real Dorothy is waking up from the dream. The dream Dorothy, the one in colour, that one's gone. But the real Dorothy, the one who had the dream, realizes, oh my God, it was a dream. And she starts telling people about the dream. And the people she starts telling about the dream were actually in the dream with her, but they were wearing costumes. And she's saying to them, I had a dream and you was there and you was there and you was there. And the three men that played the characters of the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion, they were very much, yes, yes, it's okay. In other words, it's a dream. It's okay. You're here. Nothing's happened to you. There is no witch. You're not lost. And that is kind of the what self-realization can feel like for some of us who have realized that, oh, everything that I've experienced isn't real. It actually was a dream. But then I think with us, we because that that dream was so personal. Obviously, Dorothy would have felt it being personal, but I'm bringing it back to us now because it was so personal and so sticky. We then have I don't know if I should call it the idea, but then we sometimes want to go back and start to heal the dream. It's only a dream. The absolute best and only way, really, is to wake up to who you are. The psychological programs, if we are capable of staying in that awakened state, some of us are, some of us keep will fall back into the dream world again and have little awakenings along the way. But the aim is for it's to do with the mind now. We're talking about the mind. The psychological mind has got programs and all sorts going on, and it's to let go, understand, and let go of those programs. And that is where spiritual growth takes part. So the growing has nothing to do with the self-realization, because the being knows the being. If we ask ourselves, am I aware? And we pause and directly experience awareness, yes, I am aware. But that I am aware is probably not the best question to ask, because it sometimes feels like there's two eyes. There's the I that was asleep and the I that was in the dream. So it's the awareness that it can't grow. It can't be any more than what it is. It's just the recognition of it. And it's the one who fell asleep to that true nature that reconciles with itself. So that is why teachers say awareness knows, only knows awareness. Another way to look at it is, and I think this is a really good illustration, is one of the sun. So you've got, if you can just use your imagination, be open and come along on this journey with me, you have a sun. That sun shines. And as a result of the sun shining, there are rays that come off the sun. Now, let's just pretend or imagine or resonate with the rays are separate. That's what makes them rays. They are separate. If we take the sun as pure consciousness, the sky in which the sun rests in is the self. It's just invisible. It has no form. It has no name. It just is. That is the true nature. The sun, which represents consciousness, is the mind. It's the not even the mind. Well, yes and no. It's the state of consciousness. That consciousness, that sun, has automatically got rays. It can't do anything to make the rays appear, and it can't stop them because the sun just shines. That is all that the sun does. So all that consciousness does is it's here. Now, those rays, what we have done through ignorance is the sun has not realized its true source. It hasn't realized why it's there. The purpose is to shine. It hasn't realized that, because the sun can't see itself. So what the sun does is it looks at all of these rays and thinks, oh my God, who are all these people? All these people, they're all individual, not realizing they're all connected to the one source. And what happens there is each ray then is seen as separate. And that is the feeling of being separated. The sun then has been hypnotized by a ray and has said, this is me. I'm single. It's just me. There's another ray next to me. And then that one that says this is me then has the tendency to judge the other rays and compare and discriminate. And as you're listening to this, if you're imagining a sun, can you imagine a sun not knowing it's a sun, thinking it's the ray, thinking it's a separate self and judging itself? That is exactly what the human game is with the psychological mind. The sun then wakes up to itself. Oh my God, I'm not a ray. I am the sun. And it just shines. All of the rays are then affected. That not that they was ever not affected, but it's more obvious. He's more happier, so he shines more and more and more. And the more that the sun pushes that light out, the more the rays are more vibrant. Another example is a tree. A tree is planted, and off the tree come branches, and it's like the feeling of separateness is like one body looking at another branch and having a comparison with it. It's all from the same root. It's not really separate. They are individual from the same source. And that is something that can possibly help somebody to comprehend or realize because we hear of oneness and forget, for me, I would say forget all those terms, and it's just the recognition. You can use if it's useful, use the story of the Wizard of Oz that you are awake, but you just believed the dream because the dream is really sticky. Or you can know that you are the sun and you've automatically got rays. So every human being that you see is from your consciousness. It's you, you are the sun. And then, of course, you can be the tree, and the tree has many branches, and the branches, can you imagine if the tree could talk and he saw the branches arguing, you're better than me, I'm better than you, I've got more money than you, I don't like it. Can you imagine if what the tree would say? And that's kind of what we do, and it's just it's the human game. But once self-realization takes place, um, the work, I call it work because it's not, oh my God, I realize that's it. That's it. There's nothing to do. No, there's work to do, but the work is not, I don't even know if work is the right word, but there is a responsibility. And the responsibility is to let go of everything that is not who you are. And in letting go of everything, you you become more sensitized to who and what you are. And that is when the fire starts, because the love that you feel, the joy, the happiness encourages you to keep on going and keep on going and keep on going until you've let go of everything that is not true. Once that has happened, you are self-obvious. You will know that I was never asleep, because the imagination of the one sleeping was just an imagination. It's not me. But to hear that at the very beginning of the journey, maybe it doesn't make sense, or maybe it can be a bit scary. It can feel like, what am I going to do? But if you are on the journey, I encourage you, do whatever you need to do, listen to who you need to listen to, meditate to, you know, self investigate, do whatever needs to be done, and keep going, keep going, keep going. If there is a community of like minded individuals, or you can attend a satsang or silent retreat, I would definitely urge that you go and do that, because self-realization is one thing. The self will always be the self no matter what you've been through. You can't earn it. There's nothing you can do to earn it. You don't have to get rid of any habits or behaviors before you can become it. No, you are it. 1 billion% you are it. The only work is to let go of what you are not. And when we've let go of what we are not, we are self-obvious. That is the spiritual growth. So that is the quote unquote journey, because we're not traveling anywhere, but the journey is to let go of more and more and more of what you are not. And I suppose that's my word for the day. Like I said before I started, I hadn't posted a recording for a long time, and it would have been lovely to have come on and spoken from a live perspective, but my video looks a bit cloudy, and so it wouldn't have been a good quality. But thank you, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another video. You take care for now. Bye bye.